Hi, I'm Azra.
And hi, I'm Theandra.
And you're listening to the A&T Friendship Diaries. What's up, y'all? And welcome to another episode of A&T Friendship Diaries. And it is time for episode 7, 8, and 9 of the originals.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Of course you
This
are.
is my favorite, 3, I would have to say, out of this season because when Nick Klaus
So much happens.
Yes.
So much
I'm
happens.
going to say Nick Klaus go full hybrid. Made me weak.
Yeah, Klaus definitely shows out in episode 8, but we're skipping ahead. So episode 7 is entitled Bloodletting, and we find out a good piece of information, I feel like, in this episode. So this is the episode where Tyler shows up.
Oh yeah, the original not the original hybrid, says Klaus is, but it's the hybrid that he made.
Yeah, and he kidnaps Haley.
Yes, we thought it was Marcel, but no.
Takes her to the bayou and informs Haley that he's heard basically around the parts that Klaus's whole purpose for wanting Haley to have this baby is so that he can use the baby's blood to sire hybrids.
Right. And that the hybrids would be under his control.
Tyler is shook.
All the way, because he hates Klaus. In order to understand why he hates Klaus, you're watching the Vampire Diaries, you'll see.
Yeah.
But
he's shook, and Haley feels some type of way for sure.
Yeah, because they know each other.
They know each other, and she feels some type of way about hearing that basically Klaus wants to use the baby.
I don't know why she fell for that anyway.
I think that was pretty dumb. Klaus ain't giving us any indication that it's shit. He wanted to kill the baby.
Right. He didn't even care at the beginning. And not to mention when she tried to have an abortion, he almost choked her out.
Yeah, I don't know. She fell for it real quick.
And he wouldn't have hid it from him. He'd have been honest. Like, oh, yeah, I'm going to use my baby to sire my hybrids and dare any of you to do anything about it.
Exactly. He probably would have kept it from everybody but Elijah and Rebecca.
Right.
But he never mentioned anything like that.
Because he didn't even know.
No. So Elijah and Klaus are now going to find Haley. They think that Marcel has her. So they show up to the Michelson old mansion where Marcel is with his vampire crew.
Interrupted the fight party.
Boo. But anyway, you already know how I am about Marcel, so just boo and next. But they find out that Marcel does not have her. Mm-hmm. But you see Marcel let Klaus and Elijah know that he had met Haley because he had showed up to the plantation because of Rebecca's dumbass.
Yes.
Now, he doesn't give Rebecca away, but
Klaus ain't dumb.
Klaus is not dumb. And we remember from episode 6, the end, Rebecca and Marcel hook up. He tries to ask her some questions. She gets uncomfortable. So in order to get him to change, to deflect, she hands him an apple from the plantation that they're staying at, which is the plantation that Marcel grew up on where he was a slave. Again, you didn't think that man was going to recognize them apples. And now on top of that, he's a vampire.
Right, so he got super sense and all of that. So yeah, it all brought back all kind of memories.
So he already knew that where else is she going to get this apple other than the plantation where I grew up. So he goes back to see what's going on, to see if that's where they're staying. Because Marcel has no idea where Klaus has been living.
You know what I want to know?
Huh?
How did Tyler find her? That's a good one.
That's a good question. Well, I would think that Tyler found her because you know how everybody is talking that she's pregnant by Klaus. So wherever Klaus is.
And
She
he is
is
sire to him because he's his only other hybrid.
correct.
So he
So
might have like some sixth sense about who knows. But they
yeah,
didn't get into it, but I just thought that was
right.
interesting.
Yeah. I don't probably think it was hard for him to find Haley, but again, he finds Haley, kidnaps her,
Wolf scent.
right? Takes her to the bayou.
Smell some Haley over here. No,
Not smell some Haley up in here.
you know, if you was dating a werewolf, now you believe.
I don't like that.
Just show up when you. I smell some ass up in here.
I knew where you was, babe. I smelled you. I don't want to date a werewolf. This is why we like vampires.
Yeah, because if he abusive, he just follow your scent all like. What
I
you
don't
doing?
like that. Oh, number one stalker.
You got to be out there like Rambo, bathing in mud.
Trying to get this scent lost. Yo, that's funny.
Running through rivers and stuff.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm weak. So, okay, wait. Did we talk about how we did? How Tyler explains to Haley that the word around town is that Klaus is trying to sire his own hybrids with the baby.
Yep, and create an army.
And
that's what they
create-
scared of.
yeah, that's what
Because
he
Klaus
said.
by himself
It's nothing to be
is an army.
correct.
So imagine an army getting an army.
Correct.
He'll rule the world.
And that's what they're afraid of.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, I mean, baby, absolutely. So Tyler brings one of his homeboys, Dwayne,
Po Dwayne.
and Dwayne has signed up for this mission to be injected with blood from Haley, because the blood that's in Haley is the baby's blood also, to be injected with blood from Haley and then killed to see if he comes back.
And he
And
did.
He does. So Dwayne,
And then he had to feed from her.
Dwayne is a werewolf.
Mm-hmm.
So the blood from Haley is going to turn him into a vampire as well. So then, therefore, i.e., he's another hybrid.
Correct.
And he was like, I'm down. Let's get it. He didn't even know if he was going to come back or not. That's how serious this whole shit is. Like, he volunteered. He
there's
had
something
no
deep in
clue.
there because usually, because Klaus is a hybrid, he has both the vampire and the werewolf can mingle together in him as one, which is why he can turn werewolves into vampires because there's something in his bite.
Right.
So that's why they had to get whatever's in Haley because now their baby is a hybrid.
Correct.
So yeah.
I know, but again, Dwayne signed up for it. He was willing to seriously take one for the team. He's not the MVP, but he did take one for the team because what if he wouldn't have came back? They didn't know what was going to happen, get injected with this blood.
No, but he was definitely, because he knew if I become a hybrid.
That's why he was down. Like,
yeah,
I may either die
or I'm going to become hybrids. I got a whole thing about that, but yeah.
It was only two options, either death or become a hybrid, and Dwayne was willing to shoot a shot.
But you got to remember, like, the werewolves are like in hiding, like, what,
Yeah, so to become a vampire would be able to at least free him.
Yeah, he ain't make it though.
No, he doesn't make it. So Elijah and Klaus show up to the bayou.
Yes.
And
they accuse him.
Well, first Klaus sees Dwayne, and he knows that Dwayne is a hybrid, but he also knows that he didn't sire Dwayne. So Klaus is very confused about where the hell this hybrid came from in the first daggone place.
Right. I didn't tell him. So who?
And that's when Elijah explains to Klaus.
No. First, Haley was like, "Oh, you like she like." First of all, why she act like she was about to go big stomping up in Klaus' grill? Elijah like, look, don't get beside yourself. Like he just now like accepted you. Like don't get it twisted.
Yeah, she was gonna jump in Klaus's ass, but Elijah stopped her. Right, don't get you and your baby killed out here. He's already bothered because Dwayne's ass is there as a hybrid, and he already knows that's not possible. Klaus knows that he's unique.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And now all of a sudden hybrids just jumping out the sky all willy-nilly. He had questions. Let's focus on the shit at hand. Where did Dwayne come from? Klaus was not happy.
Haley was trying to have a whole baby mama, baby daddy argument.
He wasn't with it.
Elijah like, slow down, baby girl.
Yeah, you know, so he's still confused. So yeah, Haley did. She tried to jump bad, but Elijah, luckily, he saved her life. But then Elijah came through and repeated the same. I mean, okay, so the part about Klaus being able to possibly create an army of hybrids, that is probably true. But the fact that he got Haley pregnant to do this, he didn't know Haley was a wolf.
He didn't know she was pregnant.
He didn't know she was pregnant.
And then Elijah, what you scared of?
This is true. I bag back. He probably didn't know Haley was a wolf, but that wasn't his intentions. Klaus wasn't thinking nothing along those lines of trying to create.
No, because you remember his wolf side had been repressed, so he's out here sleeping willy-nilly with everybody. Ain't never got nobody pregnant, but he's never slept with not only a wolf, but she is one of the last of a dying purebred.
Correct.
So that's the only reason why it happened. It's like the stars aligned.
And then for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, all Klaus has ever been is a vampire. So I really believe that he has more of a loyalty to his vampire side than to his wolf side. His daddy made him feel like
his wolf side is the thing that separated him from his family. Yeah, he hates that side.
I hate my thighs. Klaus hates being a wolf. Everybody got something they hate.
Yeah.
I'd rather be a wolf though.
I know, right?
Instead of having thigh issue, I'd rather have new full moon issues.
I don't know, because when he first turned, remember he showed
with their bones breaking.
When he showed Cammy that flashback, she was like, "Oh my god, we ain't gonna get there. I ain't gonna jump ahead." But yeah, that's the only thing. That bone breaking don't look.
Their first kill and the first time they turn seems extremely painful. And whoever the production team on that scene when Klaus turns into a wolf for the first time, you could almost feel it.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I felt so sorry for him. I felt so bad for him because hell, it felt like my bones was breaking.
I know.
He played that part so well.
I mean,
it goes back to
Joseph. He's an awesome.
I know. That's what I was gonna say. It just goes back to you
that
saying
one crying out that one eye. We'll get there. Okay.
What an awesome actor he is. But in the bayou, Elijah now accuses Klaus of trying to sire his own army. And Klaus has no idea what Elijah is talking about. And you can tell in his face that he really does not have any idea what the hell Elijah's talking about.
No, they didn't ask him. They just automatically assumed it and accused him. And Klaus is like, oh, so quick to think the worst of me.
Yeah, because they do always think the worst of him. I understand he always doing worse shit.
And then he turned around and did worse.
I mean, he does, but Elijah deserved it. Because, like you said, they didn't even ask him. There was no questions asked. They automatically assumed that was his intentions about his baby. And that's kind of messed up.
It is.
And it hurt his feelings.
It did, because he out here trying to,
He's actually out here trying to do the right thing in the way that Klaus can do the right thing.
And trying to do it within their parameters.
Correct.
Yeah.
But Elijah accused him.
And so he bit him.
Bit the hell out of Elijah. And Elijah deserved it.
Yeah. Haley was like, he's like, he'll be all right.
Before he bit him, Elijah says, brother, if I'm done, and Klaus did not even let him finish. Like, nah, don't try to backpedal now. You know what you done. And that's why Klaus told him, we've said all that needs to be said. Yo, Klaus was pissed. He was pissed. I was shook for Elijah.
He was big mad.
He was. I was shook for Elijah because I was like, yo, like he see you trying to fix it up. Elijah was trying to fix it. He knew that he had messed up.
You know what I'm saying? And this is when he knew he
knew he had messed up. He shouldn't have accused him. He should have asked some fact-finding questions.
Right.
And like Klaus said, because she said it, because the pretty face said it, you automatically assume that I would use my baby just because she said it. And I didn't disagree with Klaus on that.
Right.
Because Elijah does tend, him and Rebecca both lose their mind around a little strange.
Around a little tart. When they fancy a bird.
Correct.
So
but that's Rebecca's whole problem with Marcel.
Yeah.
And here goes Elijah
with Haley.
And it's Klaus's baby mama. Are we not even going to talk about that part being
I
wrong?
know, nobody talks about that part. And she's pregnant with his baby. But you fall in love with your brother's baby mama.
Yeah, that's like a line that you shouldn't be crossing.
And then Klaus was like, look, if you wonder how she is, she was. He said she was she got some stuff. She showed me some things I ain't never seen. I was like, don't tell me that.
He only did that to hurt Elijah. Because Elijah has no business liking Haley. Klaus know it. We know it. I'm pretty sure other viewers know it. Like, I'm sorry.
Like, out of all the women in the world, Elijah.
You've lived for thousands of years. Come on, kid.
And then she's your natural born enemy. She's a wolf.
Yeah. And you just, we already know from Elijah's flashbacks after Klaus bite the shit out of him that he was in love with a witch. Elijah does not care. He don't discriminate.
He showed out
against sanctions.
No.
Wolf, witch, shit, vampire,
he don't care.
Human.
He don't care.
He doesn't care. He's a hopeless romantic.
He is.
Oh, that's why I love him. But yeah, either way it goes though, that hopeless romantic shit got his neck bit damn near. It looked like he had gangrene around his neck. Klaus got pissed and bit the hell out of him.
Ooh, Elijah was looking bad. Ooh, he was looking bad. He was all veiny. He was sweating. I didn't even know vampires could sweat.
He was gray. But he kept his ass in the bayou and he walked through that damn fever because he knew.
Yeah, and he wasn't even mad. Haley was mad, but he wasn't mad. He's like, oh yeah.
No, because he knew he was wrong. He knew accusing.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have did that. So I feel like already he was willing.
That was one stab in the back in this episode. Let's get to the second stab in the back.
What was the second stab in the back?
Rebecca and Marcel.
I already had enough of Marcel when we started this again. Episode 1, season 1, episode 1. I don't know why I always say them backwards, but I'm super sick of Marcel, and we're still in season 1.
Now, what about that line, that love line? So you're willing to go against my brother Klaus and risk death just so we could be together?
No, he didn't answer. Rebecca always tried to make it about her. He was like, I'm willing to save my city.
I'm willing to save my people.
And my city. And if I just happen to get you.
After all of that.
It was worth it. She was the third thing on the list. And she still don't hear that shit.
She didn't hear that. She just heard that. If you come with it, that's all that's all it took for her to turn.
On her brother. Which is crazy because sis, he named you last.
But they had hope. I don't understand. You've been around Klaus 1,000 years or more. You know he ruthless. Why? I guess I don't know. Maybe she thought, because he did have an army. Marcel had an army. That's the most that they probably ever had to face Klaus. So they actually had their little mind. And then they can't kill him. Because we found out in this episode that because he sired Marcel, which is the love of her life, they could never kill him. They have to contain him. First of all, you need to kill Klaus. Klaus ain't the dude you want to keep around.
Yeah, you don't contain Klaus. That don't even sound. Did they hear themselves in the plot?
Well, she said, look,
they were way too eager.
Right, yeah, she's like, we can't bury him around here with the rest of them because we don't want. He has a way with words. We don't want him to start a mutiny with the dead.
Yeah, if he buried them in the garden, if Marcel would have buried Klaus in the garden, I truly, truly believe some way or another, Klaus would have been able, because I don't believe that the vampires in the garden are dead.
They're not dead.
Think about it. Tahiri's alive and he's buried in the garden.
Yeah, they're just desiccated. They're just thirsty.
That's our shit. He would have sent blood all through the damn sand. It's Klaus. He's a vampire hybrid whose mother is a witch. Like it's Klaus. I don't put nothing past him.
But they was happy. They just knew it. Oh,
what their plan was gonna work.
oh, it was a beautiful scene.
Well, they in return come up with this plan because Tyler makes it to Marcel to let
Yes.
Marcel know about Haley, about the baby, about Klaus supposedly siring an army.
And when she heard he bit Elijah, when Rebecca heard that he bit Elijah,
Rebecca was pissed that Klaus bit
yeah,
Elijah. So between her knowing that, Marcel now knowing that Haley is pregnant with Klaus's baby, the plot to kill Klaus, to contain Klaus, whatever it is that they think they're about to do with Klaus, that's where it really gets
birthed.
up and at him. Because everybody shook for different reasons.
Yeah. And they, lo
And
and behold,
that's pretty much the end of the episode. Into episode 7 is them just plotting.
mm-hmm.
And then the beginning of episode 8, The River in Reverse is the name of the episode. The plot starts. the wheels are in motion. Rebecca and Klaus are having breakfast together. This is the scene where you were wondering why Klaus was draining the girl's blood and putting it in a glass instead of just drinking straight from her neck,
straight from the vein.
And I told you, like, I think, it was
he's a little bit fancy, right?
Yeah, it was breakfast time. There was toast, there was fruit. I don't think Klaus is all vulgar, all ruthless,
he got some class
all the time. Absolutely. He was drinking his blood from a nice crystal glass,
real crystal,
while he was asking Rebecca to basically
tell him what Marcel was planning.
Exactly. And do you think Klaus knew at that time that Rebecca and Marcel were plotting against him? Because he really seemed to be picking with her.
No.
Okay.
He knew someone up because she was too cool.
And she was downplaying Marcel's feelings. Like, oh, he thinks you guys are just had a disagreement. That didn't even sound right. I think she downplayed what Marcel was feeling.
And not to mention, he said he knew every time they met. He just didn't know what they were meeting about.
Correct. And she made it seem like it's nothing. Marcel good. They good. Everybody's good. We finna be one big happy family. I don't think Klaus was going for it.
They invited him to the barbecue.
I mean, they did, and his ass showed up. They wasn't ready, though.
Big and bold. Oh, let's talk about it. Let's get into it. That's what I've been waiting for.
You want to go ahead and get into it?
Yes.
Wait. Can we talk about first, though? Because remember, Elijah's still in the bayou. He's still trying to get this fever out of his body from where Klaus bit him. With him being in the bayou and hallucinating and sweating, he goes back to a time when they were in New Orleans many moons ago,
I believe. Yeah.
And Elijah is with Celeste. Mm-hmm. So now another love that he's with. And Celeste is a witch. This is what I was saying earlier. Elijah don't care who he with. Just if she love him and he love her, then that's what it is. I really wish. I'm not gonna start. I don't understand why he was with her though, because we established that we don't like the witches.
No, but maybe those witches of that time was different than the witches of this time. I don't know, but he was with her, and Klaus is out there in the field just shooting.
A witch is a witch.
Yeah, he's just shooting mugs.
And Klaus starts a rumor. Because Klaus is out there just killing people. Elijah says to Klaus, you're going to draw attention and bring our father here. Yep. And Klaus says to Elijah, like, nah, like I spread a little rumor that these was the witches out here killing everybody. And Elijah's like, yeah, what the fuck? You know damn well Celeste is a witch. The love of my life is a witch.
What did Klaus say?
Klaus
said, did he call her a hoe? Well, he said a harlot. Anyway, he said
called her a harlot. I do.
Yeah, believe. He said harlots are like rats.
Yeah,
in the bayou.
Yeah,
you tripping over them.
Don't even worry your pretty little eyes, Elijah, because you'll find another one.
Right.
Hopefully, not a witch this time. Pick something different.
And then he was like, and matter of fact, I seen him going the other way. Like, you might need to go check on your girl.
And he goes to check on her. Elijah goes to see about
Mind you, he just
Celeste.
left her in the tub because he was kissing her feet. And he
We
went to go see
we think
Klaus.
we think Elijah got a foot thing.
And before he got back, she was still in the tub.
And she was dead. But that took me to, and the whole reason why I wanted to bring that up is because I understand, yes, we've got I'll speak for myself. I've got this soft spot for Klaus, but damn, he he's ruthless as shit. And I know we already know this, but Elijah just wants to love. Klaus keeps killing all the women that Elijah is into. Rebecca just wants to love Marcel. Klaus does everything he can to keep Rebecca and Marcel from being together. Now I understand why he should keep Rebecca and Marcel from being together, because Marcel don't mean Rebecca no good, and
Mm-mm.
she just too in love to see that shit, and that aggravates the heck out of me. But we never see where Elijah or Rebecca is killing somebody that Klaus loves.
Because Klaus don't love nobody. Like, it's like I can count on my
You
hands a
think
few
over
people.
the thousands and thousands of years that they have been alive that he
Nope.
don't have one person that he's been crazy about like they do?
Have you heard him talk about her?
I mean, we have not heard him talk
Exactly.
about her
Nope.
because she doesn't exist.
Because he don't allow himself to do that because it's family first.
Klaus definitely is family first. So that means no love at all?
I mean, he'll bust a few, but he ain't about to fall in love.
Yeah, just so yeah, no love at all. Because busting a few, that's not love. That's one night stands. He
Right.
has a
And that's how he got met Haley. Like, he never, and then the ones that if he actually meets a girl that he likes or care about, he try to keep her far away because he know he ain't no good for her.
Okay.
He only makes sure he has these one night stands because he don't want strings attached. Because to him that will make him weak.
That's right. And that's the whole reason why, like in episode 3 or 4, he daggers Elijah because he says family makes you weak, love makes you weak. I see. Okay. So yeah, no booze for Klaus. Just
He knew because he already
women
said
here and there.
He was already people seeing when girl came around. Klaus ain't stupid, so that's why he dagged him like you're a weak brother.
Yeah.
Cause so.
Well, I had okay, so Klaus is not falling in love. I still don't like the fact though that he does seem to take his siblings' love interests just as nonchalant. It's okay, Klaus, that you don't want to have one specific person, but they do. And he'll kill them, let them. I mean, we're not even on different seasons
technically,
yet,
he
but
didn't
there are a
kill
lot of.
Celeste. The people in
He
the village
started a rumor so that, and Celeste ended up dead. He started a rumor and said the witches were killing people, knowing damn well that his brother was dating a witch.
True.
He
could have warned him like, "Hey, you might want to take your girl."
Right. He didn't give Elijah no heads up. He didn't give Celeste no heads up. He just started the shit and just left them out there. And now she floating in the bathtub dead, and Elijah is sick.
Why was she in the bathtub with her clothes on?
She probably wasn't. They probably just drowned her in the bathtub. She probably had her clothes on and they broke in and drowned her in the bathtub. She a witch.
She let that water out when she got up. I'm sorry, it was back in the old days.
Correct. There was no drain. What? What do you mean she had let the water out?
So you mean tell me so they just turned over a whole tub? There's a drain at the bottom of that, but it's a plug down there.
Where the water going?
I don't know. But to be drowned in your own dirty bath water.
It could have been fresh bath water.
It wasn't fresh because she was in a tub.
Either way it goes, Klaus got her killed. Whether there was water in the tub or not, he didn't care about his brother and he got her killed. And that's the bottom line. That Klaus aggravates me. That not caring about others, that not caring about his siblings, that his way or no way, what he wants, like that Klaus.
But
we
don't like the witches, so maybe Klaus just saved him from a lifetime of,
This is very true. We don't like the witches.
So I ain't, ain't like, I ain't.
It's no sweat off your back.
Ain't no sweat,
That's so horrible. All right, well, fine.
I ain't like the witch.
Okay, that fine. Sorry, Celeste, you wasn't liked anyway. But you know what I did like?
What?
The fight scene between Klaus and the vampires.
Yes.
What's up, y'all? This is Azra, and you are listening to A&T Friendship Diaries. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review. Thank you as always for listening in. So Klaus is of the belief that Josh is still being compelled by him, but we had saw earlier that Davina had freed Josh from Klaus's compulsions.
Mm-hmm.
Compulsions, is that right? Okay. So Klaus tells Josh to find the dagger that is at the house. Josh goes back and tells Marcel what it is that Klaus wants. Marcel then tells Josh, tell Klaus that you couldn't find the dagger, but you heard that I keep the dagger on me, and basically he's going to have to go and get it himself, which causes Klaus to show up to the Michelson old residence where Marcel and all his vampires are laying in wait.
Oh yeah, they ready. They was waiting 2 layers, because when he showed up, he looked around. He was like, "This is it." He was like, "Oh no!" Then he brought everybody else in, and they surround Klaus. Now, what I love about it, like, oh boy, didn't fret. He threw his hands up like, okay. But I got this coin. I'm a trick from an old friend. Whoever picked up this coin, then I will allow them, I guess, to be on my side, or they'll pledge their loyalty to me.
Correct.
And Marcel was like, anybody want to pick up that coin? Go ahead and do it now. Nobody moved. So Marcel thinking, checkmate.
Marcel thinking that he's still the king, because Klaus basically offered the vampires a way out, because he knew that he was going to wreak havoc.
Yeah.
So whoever picked up the coin, basically your life is saved. But in picking up the coin, you have to swear your loyalty to me.
Yeah.
And none of them dumbasses picked up the coin, and we already know what type of damage that Klaus does.
But see, they didn't know. They heard the story. And that's the whole thing I understand. I guess that's what it is, because people hear stories. So they always think maybe the stories are exaggerated. I think when you hear stuff like that, if you ain't never seen Klaus in person or in action, I guess you could probably be like, oh, they just, talking him up. But
I think they just didn't use common sense. All vampires came from Klaus and his siblings. Hence the reason they're called
But
the
they
originals.
did have a sibling on their side. So maybe they thought, with Marcel, our king, and his sister, a sibling, and 100 of us, surely
we can take Klaus down.
Yes.
Because if anybody knows his weakness, it's one of his siblings, and we got Rebecca. She's aiding us in this.
And his sire.
They got the worst sibling to help aid them.
They sure did. They got the worst one.
Because
she couldn't even hold on to the dagger.
No, she could hold on to it. Rebecca dropped that dagger because she was finna head to running. She not stupid.
If Marcel hadn't been there, if it hadn't been nobody there that she cared about, she'd have left all of them.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so Klaus offers a coin. Nobody picks up the coin. Dum-dums. Marcel is feeling big and bold, like, none of my people,
like Ike Turner,
want to join you and pledge their loyalty to you.
Because I'm the king around here.
Because I'm the king. Marcel, honey, Klaus finna show him. So then Marcel orders the first round of vampires to try to take Klaus out. And Klaus demolishes them.
He broke Buddy's neck so quick.
He hit him up under the chin, and his whole head touched his back. And then he kicked baby in his leg and his whole knee buckled. And then you heard it crack. Again, whoever's on the production, good job. So after Klaus gets rid of that first wave, he looks at Marcel and throws his hands out and was like, "Is that all you have?"
Oh, then came the chains.
So they then loop the chains. They throw the chains while he's got his hands
Don't
out.
get them chains I'm doing. That sounded like Mr. Clark with them chains.
Because he's being cocky with his hands out. So they use that opportunity to throw the chains around him. And he still kicks their ass. Now, mind you, there is a little section where they do
subdue him a little bit.
They beat the shit out of him, but it don't hold him down.
No, it just make him mad because he was like,
it pisses him
off to the highest level of pissivity.
They wasn't even ready.
They wasn't ready.
Well, you know what? It don't even matter that they weren't ready.
That growl,
Rebecca's ass was not ready.
She was not.
And when she seen it, she how he growl.
And when he looked up, his eyes was yellow.
They had got him on the ground.
Oh, they stabbed him too.
Yeah. Oh, Diego.
Diego came up.
I hate Diego. Oh, I say it every time I see him. I cannot stand Diego. Diego walks up and stabs him like 50 times real quick because, you know, they got that stupid vampire speed. Klaus's face is on the ground.
He hollers because that stabbing, the quick stab.
Oh, yeah, it hurt.
It hurt.
He's kneeling. And then he looks up. Baby. That growl takes me out every time. They wasn't ready.
They wasn't.
Again, they weren't ready. But who definitely wasn't ready was Rebecca.
She dropped the knife.
She dropped the damn dagger because when Klaus looks up, his eyes are yellow, which is wolf. And then he's got the veins up under his eyes, which is his vampire shit. So he was
went
both
full
of them.
Hybrid on him.
He went full hybrid. And I was wondering, because Rebecca was so shook, has she ever seen him go full hybrid?
No, because they had suppressed his wolf side for thousands of years. So you've seen him in the Vampire Diaries trying to get it unrepressed.
Correct.
Once he got it unrepressed, I don't think he's ever pulled that card. It's like the Joker. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't time to play it yet.
It was the big Joker. That's what
big.
That's what he pulled
smacked
out.
It down so quick.
The big Joker, the little Joker, the deuce of diamonds, the deuce of spades, all of it. Like, it was crazy. So when he jumps up, stands up, he kicks
butt.
Everybody.
Did you see him run up the wall?
He runs up the wall, kicks Buddy in the face. He's biting. You know, once he bites him, that's it.
That's it. Because he's a hybrid, so it's poison.
Yeah, his bite kills a vampire. So he's ripping necks out. I mean, the whole nine.
And the whole time, he's like, Marcel.
Oh, yeah, he's looking for Marcel. He's going through them in a beeline to Marcel.
Pick up the coin. Huh?
Rebecca, she knew Klaus was coming for them.
Yeah.
And that's why she encouraged Marcel to pick up the coin.
Yeah, because he's going to kill you out here. You're about to die up in these streets.
Because he calls for Marcel's name, remember? Yep. Not only is he making the beeline to Marcel,
he said, Marcel, come and finish this.
Because he already knew.
Boy, you ain't ready.
No, and Marcel was going to run his dumb ass down there and get ate all the way up. Klaus was going to eat him up. If it hadn't been for Becca jumping in, and that's when she encourages Marcel to pick up the coin.
You know, my favorite part after that, it was like 30 bodies. And then he came up behind Marcel and hit him on the back. It's like, well, you have nobody to blame but yourself.
Exactly. Because Marcel picks up the coin. He picks up the coin, yells enough so that Klaus will stop killing his crew. And he's on bended knee, and he pledges his loyalty.
So he was like, boys and men, down on bended knee.
He was like,
he went from a big vampire king to Wanye from Boys
quickly. walking around talking about something. He the king of New Orleans. To on bended knee in front of Klaus. That's why Klaus was like, well, well, well.
He did.
If
He
it's
slow
not,
walked up.
yeah, talking shit. If
I
it's
love it.
not the king of New Orleans, Marcel, on bended knee. Because Marcel wasn't ready.
He wasn't.
They
He
didn't know.
looked shook.
Yeah, because they forgot who they was dealing with. He's a hybrid.
He Klaus, man.
He's
That's
Klaus.
Nick Klaus Michelson.
Yeah. Ruthless.
I love him.
Is his middle name Ruthless?
I don't
Klaus
know.
Ruthless Michelson.
I love me some Klaus though.
Yeah, he wasn't playing no games with them, and they wasn't ready.
But he
And
had got
that's why-
betrayed by 2 siblings in less than 24 hours.
He has.
And his sire. 2 siblings and a sire.
Yeah. And Marcel is family to him.
Yes.
So it didn't even feel like a sire. Marcel was his son.
He shed a tear. They made him cry.
They did.
They made Klaus cry.
They did. It really sucks. In this episode, Haley gets a chance to meet some of her family. She meets Eve. She meets one person out of her family.
They're out there living in the woods like hobos because of Marcel.
They are, because Marcel ordered for all the werewolves to be killed.
Mhm.
So they're out there living and hiding. And on top of that, Haley never knew any of her family. Nope. So when she meets Eve, she knows that Eve is a part of her clan, but that's it. But Eve is willing to tell her more, tell her about her background and where it is that she comes from. So Haley's she's pretty happy. This is, she's been kind of a sippy sap. She's either been sad or fighting to save her life. Pretty much these full
or giving
9 episodes.
Elijah, you can come get me eyes.
But yeah, they so in love that it's sickening.
They ain't even kissed or nothing. They just in love. That's that old fashioned 1900 love. You walk down the street, opposite sides. You go in the house.
See each other from across the street.
Yeah, be in love.
That's crazy. But that's exactly what's happening. So now the vampires that Klaus ran through are dead. Marcel has pledged his loyalty. Klaus has got, Marcel says to him, my kingdom is yours. So that means the city of New Orleans now belongs to Klaus, and the Michelson home is now back in Klaus's possession. And that's all Klaus ever wanted in the first place.
Which he did tell Rebecca and Elijah they not welcome.
Nah, they not welcome. And they should not be. But in Klaus looking at the riches of his spoil, I guess you would say, we see the vampires that he killed. And like you said, it's about 30 of them.
Yeah.
Diego's down there pouring liquor on them.
He was like that.
To set them on fire.
Yeah, he
pouring one out for the dead homies.
Yep.
Yeah. It was about 30 of them that he killed and ran through by himself.
Mm-hmm. In less than like 2 minutes.
And if Marcel hadn't picked up the coin and yelled enough to get Klaus to stop,
he'd have killed all of them.
He would have killed all of them. And it was effortlessly.
Yeah. He killed all his hybrids. He turned except Tyler.
Correct.
Because he wanted Tyler to live every day and suffer. So yeah, he would have been capable and he would have been fine and he was cool with it. They deserved it.
They did deserve it though.
So now he the king. Moving in his castle. Gotta move Davina in.
He wants everybody up under the
he gotta meet with the town people. Because they worried. Because they had Marcel. This is a new king.
Oh yeah, for episode 9. That's
we hadn't got that
we can go ahead and get into episode 9.
Because I just love how they was like, to mean, well, we gonna this is how it's gonna be.
Yes. Episode 9, Reigning Pain in New Orleans. And that's right, because now Klaus is king. So Marcel had an understanding with the human sanction.
Mayor, chief of police.
All the important
people, yep.
Yeah, of the city. Marcel had an understanding with them. They knew about the vampires. Mm-hmm. They knew about the witches.
They could feed on the tourists, but not the locals.
Yeah, so the humans, the vampires, the witches had an understanding with Marcel. But Marcel don't run shit no more. Klaus does. So now they have to have an understanding with Klaus. And you know, Klaus, if you're not trying to do it his way,
he laughed. He was like, "You gonna do this? Feed from you can't feed from the locals." Such after they gave all their rules, Klaus was like,
exactly. He don't like being told what to
he was
do.
like, "Oh, okay, well, that's how y'all look. This time's gonna go."
And yeah, exactly. And then he let
You
them
gonna
know.
get the money that I decide to give. No, he said you'll get the scraps
Right.
that I see fit to leave for you. And if you don't like it, then I will look at you as being dispensable.
But he's not wrong.
He's not.
Even if Klaus wasn't a hybrid, he's a vampire.
Like, how you gonna tell a vampire what to do?
Human?
You can't feed off the locals. So I can only feed off tourists. Note out there the tourists, protect your veins.
I mean, I just, either way it goes, they don't like what Klaus says, the human sanction.
But they were so bold.
They have it was really the freaking mayor who had the whole issue. The mayor was the one talking all the crap, so all the other humans
and Marcel tried to tell him, look, hey, it's different. You have to be diplomatic. But like if I'm the apex predator,
correct,
I don't have to be diplomatic.
And that's
y'all Klaus's, just need to fall in line.
That's Klaus's whole argument without him even arguing. He feels like him being a vampire says that.
Right, because we ain't out there with
because we can't
with the cattle. Like, come on.
Y'all are human. Y'all can die. Y'all are the disposable
and
ones.
Then we're humans are so like Klaus, so fragile.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The humans are the disposable ones. So this is why Klaus is definitely not trying to hear.
Oh, but the humans didn't think that.
I know they didn't think that.
They clapped back.
They did clap back, and so they bombed Russo's, where Klaus and Marcel and the other vampires are hanging out. They bomb Russo's without telling the priest. The priest, which is Cammy's
he's
uncle,
like the mediator between the two factions.
He is. He tries to keep the conversation going, but unfortunately, they left him out of that part of the conversation. It did not let him know
they bombed Russo's,
that they was gonna bomb the vampires. And Klaus is pissed. I think Marcel is more pissed because those are actually Marcel's people. Klaus don't really know them vampires. He just now started, and he don't care.
No, he don't care.
No, not at all. But he did care about teaching them, the humans, a lesson.
Yeah,
you know, he's always down for a little.
And he knew because of that Marcel cares. So he's like, "What we gonna do?" Now it was the first time we saw them like
working as
Marcel said, "Kill them all."
Yeah,
and they did just that.
Yep, that's because what Klaus ultimately wants is for him and Marcel to work side by side.
He told them equals.
Yeah, just like if it was Elijah. Sort of kind of not to the same extent of it being Elijah, but just that whole working together. He wants that for Marcel because
he loved Marcel.
Marcel is his son.
Well, Rebecca wasn't feeling that. Bruh, how he break it to her?
Marcel is his son. Let me say this. Marcel is his son, but Marcel don't see himself that way.
No.
This is why everything is my city, my people. You know what I'm saying?
But he did acknowledge in this episode that I wouldn't have anything without you.
Yeah, he said it, but just because he said it, I don't feel like he really
understood it.
Yeah,
he didn't comprehend what he told him.
He does it. Marcel wanted to be turned. He gave up Rebecca once again in the early 1800s when he was a slave even become a vampire. He gave Rebecca up then.
He gave up this episode.
He's constantly giving Rebecca up, and this is why Klaus keeps saying, this man ain't no good for you.
He not.
But you keep falling for him. And Klaus is not wrong.
He's not.
Marcel
is
for Marcel.
Yeah. You can't love Rebecca. You can't. Because he was like, look, you want me? We can't keep sneaking around like this because Klaus is really trying to trust me. He wants us to be equals. And she's like, so you just gonna be buddy with him? Like, you know, and he's like, look, I can save my people. I can run the city. And if I have to give you up, didn't he tell her that?
Yeah. And if we gotta he makes it seem like it's a plan as part of a bigger plan. So let me just continue to get close with Klaus,
Because remember, he showed the
get
house
him
he
to
was going to
trust
build
me.
for.
Yeah.
But I'm like,
let Klaus continue to trust me. And then maybe one day this shit will all work out in the wash. But he's willing to give Rebecca up for a maybe one day this shit will all work out in the wash. It's because he doesn't care about Rebecca like that. Like he said, he gets the opportunity to still run his city and have an original by his side.
that's exactly what he said.
That makes Marcel a happy man.
Yeah.
But not Rebecca by his side. That's not the original that he wants. He wants Klaus. Because he already know that Klaus is that dude.
He that dude.
Everybody wanna be like Klaus.
You know what Miss like? That's that. Klaus that dude.
He is.
And he is a bastard. As they all remind him of.
I mean, they do, but it don't matter. He runs shit.
Man.
And Marcel, once again, gives Rebecca up time and time and time again, whether it's the 1800s,
and this is why
the 1900s.
I don't even feel
matter.
sorry for.
Nah, I wish, and it's gonna happen again soon, that Klaus daggers her ass and puts her ass back to sleep. Because again, Rebecca be messing up. Marcel would have never found them at the plantation if it wasn't for Rebecca. They would have never probably went full steam with this plan of plotting to take Klaus and to put him in the garden if it wasn't for Rebecca. How much courage do you think that that gas they head up because we've got Klaus's sister Rebecca on our side to take Klaus down. They was probably hype in their head.
Bruh.
We got his sister on our side. And he ate all their asses up. Rebecca was about to be out of there.
You remember the dinner, the breakfast, or whatever he had in the morning? Toast to our new family. Everybody was looking at him like, oh, we can't stand him.
Correct. Because he's living in the house now with all the other vampires, and they don't want to be loyal to him. Those are Marcel's people. But because Marcel tells them to play along, they play along. Which they ought to be scared to do because they already see how Klaus acts when he finds out that people are trying to betray him or not be loyal.
But I guess it's kind of like, don't nobody want to live in fear all the time either,
Yeah.
But I'm like, you ain't got no reason to fear him if you just,
be loyal.
Be loyal.
That's all he's asking for. And it's his city. They were there first. We know why they left. I understand we not in it yet.
And then he did tell Marcel, oh yeah, by the way, your friend Tierney, he was really your friend. You can get him out the garden if you want to. He was the most loyal person you had.
Yeah, he does. He releases some secrets that he had been keeping from Marcel, which I don't think he should have did because Marcel didn't release no secrets that he had been keeping from Klaus. And we know as viewers that Marcel been keeping a lot of shit.
And that's
from
what
Klaus.
Rebecca said. Look, I got one thing. I could tell Nick Klaus one thing that will make him hate you, is what she said.
Well, we know
what it is.
We all know what that is. Yeah.
If you ain't watched, we ain't gonna tell you.
Did you see it? Well, we will when we get to the episode. Yeah. Did you see how shook Marcel looked though when she said it?
Yeah, because he knows the truth.
Yeah. He's got a secret. Well, he's actually got many secrets. And because everybody knows how Klaus is, once Klaus finds out that pretty much everybody's been lying to him, he ought to fucking burn them all. Sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry. Because look, y'all already know that I'm an Elijah fan. But they've been doing Klaus real dirty.
They have.
I wasn't even upset. Like, I'm going to backtrack real quick, but I wasn't even upset that he bit Elijah.
No, she wasn't. Nope, you weren't.
Elijah shouldn't have accused him. Elijah should have asked first, but he didn't. And so Klaus had every right to bite him. I ain't gonna say he had every right to bite him, but he had every right to react however he wanted to react. And his reaction was to bite Elijah's ass and give him the damn vampire fever.
Yeah. Fever when you hold.
I was just thinking the same thing too. Why are you so nutty?
Because I was just thinking about it. So, I mean, he got his He got his house back, his home back. I mean, it cost him a lot. I mean, that's why I love Klaus, because like my favorite scene was when he tried to get Cammy to leave, and she was like, I guess he was about to walk away. Anyway, she's like, "No, you're just afraid because I've seen the real you, and you afraid of whatever." And he tries to walk away, but she reaches out and touches him. Now I don't know if he means to show her, or because he was emotional and caught off guard.
No, she says you want me to leave because I've seen the real you. And
Yep,
Klaus says to her, "You don't know me. You haven't seen the real me." And
that's what
then
it
Cammy
was.
says, "Well, show me. Show me who you
I'm
are."
from the show me state. Show me.
And then that's when he touches her and
Well, no,
Cammy
he
is
was finna walk away, and when she grabbed him and it's like turned him around, like, "No, you're not gonna walk away from me. You're gonna show me." She she saw everything when she touched him, and he thought, I think he did it on purpose
yeah,
because he wanted her to leave, and so he was like, "Once you see who I am," because he showed him when he first turned, when his eyes was yellow, the mouth,
he
him
showed
ripping
his
out
first
throats.
kill.
Yep, he showed
Exactly.
everything, and he just knew it was gonna make her be like, "I want to get away from you." But instead, it was a different reaction. She was like, "Oh my God."
Nobody should have ever had to go through this. She felt
Her
sorry for
compassion.
him. Exactly. But that's why Klaus loves her because she is very compassionate. I stuttered because I was getting ready to say something stank because I don't think Cammy is a looker. I don't think she easy on the eyes. So because she's not too easy on the eyes, I feel like she got other things of value like her compassion. She has compassion for a vampire. She has compassion for a werewolf. And she's her regular self. She's not being compelled by him when she sees that he is a werewolf, when she sees that he is a vampire. She's still just like her heart is, you
I
could
mean,
literally hear the sadness.
I see what she sees. Like, you're just a person that is so full of hurt and pain, not because you of anything of your choosing. These people, the people that were supposed to protect you, love you, nurture you, these were the same ones who inflicted all of these wounds on you.
And
And
the main
the
person that it starts
burden.
with is his mama. You know I can't stand her.
What is her
You
name? I
know
can't even
I
think of it.
cannot stand her. I
Oh,
can't stand her mainly because it goes back to her being a witch and her causing all of these issues. She's the reason
she's the
for all of
catalyst.
this. She is.
She's the catalyst. And Nick Klaus is just, he has a weird way of showing up, but he's just trying to be the best version of himself. And yeah, he has a lot of
And that's
stuff to
hard
work
for
through.
him to know who he is. The he can't even really be the best version of himself because he righteously really don't know himself
Nope.
because the his parents
Deny it. Yeah. They
made
deny
him
it. Yeah.
deny a part of himself. So I just feel like this baby has all sorts of baggage, and this is one of the reasons why he loves Cammy because we know she's got a psychology degree,
Yep. And she can help
and
him work through some of that.
she does, unbeknownst to her, she does help him just reach inside and see just a different Nick Klaus and the things
And
that he's
she ain't
suffering from.
scared to, like, she lay it out there. Like he told her uncle, like, I mean, I've killed people who done way less.
Yeah, she's very mouthy to him. She say whatever she want. But he allows her to.
Yeah.
Like he said, I've killed people for less because he allows it
Yeah, he likes it.
because he knows Cammy is smart and
Yeah.
she's caring and she's sympathetic and she's empathetic to just him as a person. They definitely have this drawn energy to one another.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I think as much as she is angry and upset at him, I think, I think she giving him the eye too. Like, I feel this whole chemistry between them two. Like,
Between
they're,
her and Klaus.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
Marcel wanted her, but you're not the king, sir. It's just another example
Well, if I
of
had my
why.
choice of Marcel or Klaus, it would be Klaus anyway. So,
Exactly.
but
You picking Klaus every time.
every
I
time.
I would like to say I'm picking Elijah every time, but in episode 8, I'm sorry, I was definitely team Klaus because Elijah was straight tripping.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's all
It's
good.
all good. Did you see his
I
face? I have eternity. She's like,
Yeah, he's gonna be forever trying to fix Klaus, and that's, you know what, we're here for it. We're gonna keep showing up. That's episodes 7, 8, and 9. We'll be back next Friday for episodes 10, 11, and
we
12.
might have to do 13 because ain't it just 13 in the first season?
I don't know. We'll see, but we'll be back next Friday. Join us for another recap of the originals.
Remember to subscribe, rate, and review, and share it as well.
Thanks, y'all.